Hello everyone, Josh here with Gotcha Legends, bringing y'all another Infinite Magic Raid video, and today we're going to be looking at the new epic hero that'll be dropping after reset here in a few hours, via the Miracle Wish summons, and that is of course Melter. Now, we briefly went over him in our patch note video, but we didn't have the information that we needed to really dive too deep into and do a full review, and that's because we didn't have the basic base stat info or the skill modifier percentages. But now that he's been added to the gallery, in advance of him of course being summoned after reset in the Miracle Wish, we can go ahead and take a look at him and break him down. So let's go ahead and do that right now. As as a lot of you may know by now, he's going to be a Force Mark hero, which is very, very cool. Now, quick little backstory here. I am a sucker for lizard men style characters. I just love the concept of it. I love the style, the aesthetics. I love the raw, the more primal look. I love it. You're coming from a guy who grew up playing games like Turok, okay, back in the day, or Primal Instinct, some really cool stuff, or even Reptile, some of his iterations throughout Mortal Kombat. One of my favorite anime that I have enjoyed here in the past few years, Overlord, had a nice arc for lizard men that I greatly enjoyed. I just love the style of it, and it might be because in real life one of my favorite animals is actually a snake. So I love amphibious creatures, lizards and stuff of that nature. Dragons, they always are a little bit on the biased side from my point of view because I love it. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there, but that's not of course going to determine if I think this unit is good or bad, though. I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way. So a little FAQ for you guys and gals out there, in case you were curious why I always get pretty hyped when I see lizard-like characters in any game we play. Now you know. You can always come back to this video and reference it. Anyway, so he's turn meter, removal, single target damage. We're going to go over his exclusives. His base stats here, HP 6890. That's not bad for a DPS unit that has some form of support via buffs, debuffs, removal of things or whatever of that nature. So not bad on HP. 715 attack, that's pretty standard for epics. That's kind of in line with like Holder, for example, in terms of base attack stat. Defense 689 and speed is 984, which is actually quite good. That's very good speed for an epic, which is going to tie in nicely to his actual skill set. Now, he's an attack type. Of course, we already know that he's a Force Mark, so no type disadvantage, unless they eventually make a Shadow Mark, which I assume they're going to do at some point, maybe. I just can't see them not wanting to capitalize on that, but maybe they don't. I don't know. Anyway, skill 1, Nimble Dagger. Deals 2 stages of 60% attack damage to a single enemy, with each stage stealing 5% of their turn meter. Now, the damage goes up an extra 20%, and the turn meter that he's stealing goes up an extra 5%. So he's going to be doing 2 stages of 80% and stealing 10% each stage for a combined total of 160% damage and 20% turn meter being stolen. That's actually kind of crazy in a skill 1. Because it says right there, with each stage, he will steal that 10%. So 20% total. That is crazy on a no cooldown skill, on a skill 1, a basic attack. You're not going to get much damage from that because it's pretty low modifier, but the turn meter reduction, that's nuts. All right, active skill 2, 3 turn cooldown with skill ups. He's going to be getting an additional, looks like 45%, 175 at base. So it looks like with 2 stages, he's going to be doing about 440% give or take damage on an active skill, which that's a pretty good modifier for that. And each stage can steal 1 layer of attribute buff at random. And that's before dealing the damage. So that's really good because if they have like a defense up or an HP up, he can actually steal that before he does the damage, which is going to be more beneficial as well to him doing more damage. Very good. This stage of the attack is guaranteed to land a crit if the stealing is successful. So that's exclusive level 1. Otherwise, copies 1 layer of buff on self at random and grants it to one random ally. That's interesting. So he's going to copy one layer of buff on himself and then grant it to one random ally. So he's going to get a random buff cloned, given to himself, and then also passed along to one of your allies. That's really good. That's really good, and that's only on his exclusive one, so that's only one dupe. That's not bad. That's solid. That's a very solid active skill. He's doing a lot of stuff there. He's doing pretty decent damage. The possibility to crit on each stage, if you know, every stage that he's stealing an attribute buff on, he's going to be doing a crit, which is fantastic. You have potential to do you know, pretty decent damage there, and also disrupt the enemy by, you know, manipulating some of their buffs, and even helping your allies out by giving them one of those buffs that is cloning as well if everything else fails. So very good fail-safe skill there. You know, he's got something is going to happen in that skill at some point, no matter what. So that kind of helps with the situational aspect of it. I like that. All right. Passive. Now this passive is freaking amazing. This means I do not need to invest into leech into this guy at all, because he's getting 14% base leech, just base, just because. And since all three of his skills outside of his passive actually do damage, he's going to be getting leech on all of those, which is awesome. And he's going to be picking up an additional 8% when you skill him up. So 22% base leech is kind of nuts. And yeah, you could think, well, maybe you could throw a fearless set on him and, you know, get another 20% leech and really get him going. But you don't really need to if you have a second dupe in him, because his exclusive level 2 gains 1 layer of Bloodthirst up to 10 layers, increasing the effect of Bloodthirsty Instinct 10% whenever Melter successfully steals the target's turn meter or buffs. Now keep in mind, he's doing one of those two things with all of his skills. So if you can get a second dupe into this guy, he's going to be leeching left and right. He does not need any more leech. He's going to have plenty of leech, which opens up the possibility that, yeah, you could throw more leech on him and overheal him, which is not bad for self-sustain, especially later stages of the game. But you could also go more of an offensive route. You could try to lean into that skill too a little bit more, maybe put some crit damage on him, put more attack on him. So you can go with maybe the Bloodthirsty set might not be a bad option if you want to get a little bit of crit for his other skills and then the attack. Or you just go full attack. You know, you could kind of play around with it and do whatever you want, because he's going to get plenty of leech, which is awesome, which is incredible. So he's going to be self-sustained. He's going to be disruptive. He's going to do pretty moderate damage. So far, he's looking like a very, very solid, well-rounded, and balanced unit. And we still have to get into his ultimate. His ultimate is something else. 120%, 4 stages of that. It goes up to 150 with skill ups on a 4-turn cooldown. So he's going to be doing 600% single target damage and stealing 40% turn meter. 40% and 600% damage, all in one skill. Now, if you get 3 dupes in him, this skill steals the target's turn meter instead. That is insane to me, because in theory, you could take a unit that might be on the verge of taking their turn next, and he could steal their turn meter, do that damage, get that lifesteal off because of his passive, and then go again because he took all their turn meters. So now he's lapping the opposing team because of how much turn meter he is literally taking away. Insane unit. There is a scenario where he could go skill 3 into a skill 2. Like, that's insane to me. The prospect of having a unit that could literally just go in and just say, yep, I'm going to lap you. I'm going to beat you down, take everything you have, leave you stranded, and then I'm going to go again and beat you down some more. Because I haven't had enough yet. That's absolutely insane. This guy is incredible. I really like this guy's kit. For turn meter manipulation, I don't think I've seen a better kit on any other epics in the game, because his turn meter manipulation is just, it's next level. It's insane. This guy is going to be a monster in PvP. He's going to be a monster in a lot of different content. He's got self-sustain, so he even in some cases could be somewhat of a semi-carry. I don't want to say a full carry, because I don't feel like he's going to pack as much offensive damage, and he doesn't have any dots or anything like that. But as a semi-carry, like a support carry, I think he's going to do a fantastic job. And he's going to be supporting your team as well, because he's literally taking away things from the enemy, the opposing team, which could benefit your units as well, not just himself. So he's a very well-balanced machine, in my opinion. Like, he's a well-oiled machine. He's a very solid unit. He looks really freaking cool too. I just want to use him just because aesthetically he looks awesome. And you know, that just might be a personal bias, as we went over in the beginning, but I like what I see. His skill set looks awesome. He looks awesome. He's a force mark, so he has no type disadvantage, and he's attack type unit, self-efficient. I don't know what else you could really want in a unit like this. This is a great unit. Very well done with Melter. So, you know, I'd put this guy kind of high up. If I was to throw this guy in a tier list today, just on paper purely, because obviously we haven't been able to test him out yet, but just based on what we can see here and kind of how I'm envisioning using him, you know, in theory of what I could do with him, I feel like he'd be pretty high up there on my tier list for, you know, considering his role on the team and what he could do, what he could offer. So I don't know, you guys and gals, let me know in the comment section below what you all think about Melter. Do you like him? Is he meh? Is he great? You know, what do you think? You're gonna try to pull for him if you can. You're gonna wait a couple weeks and try to get him from the general pull. Let me know that and more in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, check notifications, join me in the Discord in the description below as always, and go ahead and drop a like to help our little blue dragon buddy Gio get nice and fat before winter. And I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.